Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad to see you again. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend, and I have something really special planned for you today. Today, we are going to be tackling the second and last installment in the Barbenheimer cinematic universe. Now, if you haven't already seen the previous video, which is a review for Oppenheimer, go ahead and give it a click right over here, or check it down in the description once you're done watching this video. I'm also going to go ahead and link down below the missing YouTuber video in case you are new to the channel and are wondering what we're going to do in the future or any social media dynamics that we might have. But without further ado, go ahead and drop those heels, pour yourself a nice hot cup of tea, hide that cellulite, and let's get straight into Barbie land. So we kick off the movie with a little bit of an So we start off the movie with a bit of an origin story on Barbie the doll, how it came to be, what dolls came before it, before actually meeting stereotypical Barbie herself, Margot Robbie. So she takes us through her daily routine by waking up first thing in the morning from those razor sharp bed sheets that look just about as comfortable as the needle pit in Saw 2. Yeah, that's right. You just saw that. Bet you weren't expecting that in a Barbie video, huh? In all seriousness though, anyone that actually has these sequin pillowcases, bed sheets, or anything like that needs to be reported to the authorities. It is maniacal. What are you doing? How is it possible that Legos have a child safety warning, but not these, like, paper shredder pillowcases? Anyway, she takes a shower, has breakfast, and doesn't have a mental breakdown before leaving the house, which truly confirms my theory that this is, in fact, a work of fiction. So she heads up to the beach to hang out with Barbies, and what do you know? The guy who's constantly lurking around in her DMs is just waiting around to ask the really important questions. You know, like,
where's my hug?
Now, really quick, speaking of the beach, I want to take a moment to tell you about one of my favorite aspects of the entire movie, which is the set design. Greta Gerwig, I think, did a phenomenal job when it comes to having everything made out of plastic, or these goofy travel scenes, or the ridiculously small plastic cars. I think it was perfect for a film like this, but I'll go ahead and talk about that a little bit later in the video. So Barbie and the Barbie gang hang out with Barbie, and other Barbies in the Barbie beach in Barbie land before heading to Barbie's dream home, where Barbie, and all the Barbies can have a Barbie girls night. If you want to punch me in the face because you think I said Barbie too much, don't worry, so does the movie. So Ken, who is played by Ryan Gosling, and who is also literally me, walks Barbie home and wants to spend some quality alone time with her after a long, hard day of beaching dudes off. What does he want to do alone with Barbie? That's a great question. And to that I say, I don't know. They never say. I mean, they go out of their way to tell you that these guys don't exactly have genitals.
I have all the genitals.
So your guess is as good as mine. But just like the last 24 years of my life, Ken gets viciously rejected, and Barbie files a restraining order. What? Oh, she doesn't file a restraining order. That was just me. Okay. The next morning, however, things are a bit different. Barbie starts doing unnatural things like having bad breath, not being able to fly, and pooping, which we all know pretty girls don't do. So in her confusion, President Barbie tells Barbie that she has to visit Weird Barbie because apparently she's the only one who can explain what's really happening behind the curtains. Now, if you're wondering why she's called Weird Barbie, well, that's because she's played by Kate McKinnon. Well, not just that, but she is also a permanent resident in the Caterpillar room at Sunnyside Daycare. So the weirdo tells Barbie that she has to go to the real world to reconnect with her human to hopefully fix all these disgusting things that have been happening. You know, things like anxiety and cellulite. Now, it wasn't actually until deep into writing the script for this video that I realized just how similar this movie is to Deadpool.
You're gonna keep going funny. Look at your upper thigh.
What is that?
That's cellulite. That's gonna spread everywhere.
If you could see me, you'd understand.
Looks on everything.
Looks are everything.
Flat feet!
Me and you are headed to fix this butterface. What?
So, Barbie see, Barbie do, and she heads over to the real world where she very quickly finds out that the real world fucking sucks. Within the first couple of minutes, she finds out that despite what Beyonce may have told you, girls do not run the world. Now this of course upsets Barbie greatly. She's constantly catcalled, she is made fun of, she's even assaulted at one point. To which she rightfully assaults back and gets herself and Ken arrested. However, they do make bail somehow. And like a true example of the modern day American justice system, they very shortly afterwards find themselves in custody once again. Sometime in between whatever the hell is going on, Mattel comes to find out that Barbie and Ken are out on the loose and they must be apprehended or else terrible things will happen. What terrible things, Robert, you might ask? And to that I say, I don't know. They never say. I think cellulite, maybe? Well, I guess that makes sense. Carry on. Now, at this point, I think you may or may not have noticed that the plot isn't incredibly complicated, nor does it need to be. At its core, this is a simple coming-of-age story, so I'm just going to go ahead and speed run through the plot, so we're not here for the next 45 minutes. Now, without getting too ahead of myself, I think this movie was perfectly serviceable for what it is, but I'm not going to sit here and dissect every little tiny plot point. So here goes. So Barbie follows a teenage girl into her school campus where she wants to be alone with her for a little bit. The teenage girl, however, naturally declines the offer to be alone with the Pepto Cowboy. And not only that, but she also takes a tiny minute just to shit on Barbie's entire concept of reality.
No, I'm supposed to help you and make you happy and powerful.
Oh, I am powerful. And until you showed up here and declared yourself Barbie, I hadn't thought about you in years, you fascist.
Ken storms a local library where he stumbles upon an Andrew Tate podcast, where he is inspired to start an anti-woman crusade of male dominance. As you do. Teenage girl's mother, Gloria, who also happens to work at Mattel, finds out that Barbie's real and rescues her from the Mattel SS Death Squad in a high-speed Chevy commercial. Oh, it's not a Chevy commercial. It's just a chase scene? Okay, Ken returns to Barbie Land, where he, of course, instigates a civil war against women. Barbie finds out that Gloria is actually her human, and she tries to bond with her to hopefully fix all the wacky things that have been going on. So Gloria, teenage girl, and Barbie head back to Barbie Land, where they discover that it is no longer Barbie Land. This is now the Kendom, baby! A magical place where all Sigma males and Discord mods can coexist. So Barbie and the gang devise a plan to free all the Barbies from this Ken brainwashing juju. And they do that in the best way possible since True Love's Kiss. By shoving a feminist monologue so far down your throat, my booty looks like a beat. But, okay, I know what you're thinking. That's a lot. This is a lot of information to take in such a short amount of time, so I'm gonna go ahead and break up the plot a little bit. Another one of the aspects that I really loved about the movie was the pink, baby! Not just the pink, but just the color palette in general. I think Greta Gerwig is really expressing herself very positively through the color palette and the set design. I'll get more into that a little bit later. I think just the camera work mixed in with the colors, with the set design, just makes this loop of pure enjoyment. For example, if you saw the movie, you know that Mattel is warned by the FBI that Ken and Barbie are out on the loose and they need to be captured. So they kind of do this really funny, really creative shot where half of the shot is the FBI and the other half is Mattel. Mattel being a gray, lifeless hellscape of doom, and the FBI is just so gosh darn colorful. So Ken and the Kens have devised a genius plan where they are going to change the Constitution to make all women subservient to men forever. Or, in other words, Hollywood. So to stop the vote from going through, Barbie and the Barbs have devised an honestly 9,000 IQ play where they're going to get, and this is so simple but so perfect, they're going to get all the Kens to just kill themselves. I mean, where's the nail in the head? So Ken and his allied Kens storm the beaches of Normandy and give us what has to be the best scene in the entire film, bar none. And Ryan Gosling gives us the performance of a lifetime. He may not have won the Oscar, but he won my heart. So the Barbados stopped the vote from going through, and they return order to Barbie Land, where Barbies and Kens can coexist, perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Margot Robbie, however, chooses a different fate. She chooses to join the humans and live a human life. Now, before Barbie joins the human world, we get this really emotional, very sweet little montage of women and young girls throughout history that I thought was just perfect in encapsulating what the Barbie doll was always trying to represent. I thought it was just a cherry on top, and I really appreciated it. So Barbie joins us in the real world, where she takes one good look at the asking price for an apartment in LA, says, "Fuck that," and moves right back to Barbie Land.
No. Wait.
So to start off the character dive, I am probably gonna sign my own death warrant right now, but I gotta speak my truth, man. And my truth is that my favorite character was Ken. That was fucking awful. My favorite character was Ken. I mean, of course. And don't get me wrong, the irony of Ken being my favorite and apparently many people's favorite character is not lost on me. But in a movie with so much socio-political commentary about gender inequality, the fact that Ryan Gosling steps in and just holds nothing back is perfect. He is just so contagiously fun. I couldn't help but smiling every time he was on screen. His facial expressions are ridiculous. His comedic timing was on point. I really enjoyed every single scene where Ken was there. He just made everything better. He made the world more vibrant. And speaking of vibrant, I'm just Ken.
I'm just Ken. Where I see love, she sees a friend. What will it take for her to see the man behind the tent?
That song just has so much energy. I love listening to it, especially when I'm editing these videos. I'm probably going to keep listening to it in the future. And as always, Gosling was just so likable throughout the entire runtime. He went from simp to Andrew Tate Sigma male, right back to simp, and never lost me. So I don't know if he got paid too much for this movie or not at all, but neither would surprise me. Margot Robbie also fits into her character incredibly well, of course, not just physically, but she manages to play naive characters very well. We've seen her do this really well in previous films like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is what came to mind when I was watching this. I think she did an amazing job, especially when you start peeling back the layers of her character.
Layers! Onions have layers. Ogres have layers. Onions have layers? You get it. We both have layers.
She starts off as just regular old Barbie, I don't want anything to change, and jumps all the way over to, shit, I want everything to change. And that arc was really amazing. Every moment where she's serious and emotional just gets more impactful as the movie progresses. I wasn't expecting this movie to have a deeper conversation or a deeper level of meaning, but to my very pleasant surprise, it does. And it works very well. Besides the obvious gender equilibrium, this movie touches on some personal things that everyone can relate to, women and men. Things like anxiety, depression, physical changes, emotional swings, and many others. I think the movie addresses these issues very well, for the most part. And the movie's message is one that I can wholeheartedly get behind. That life is as imperfect as we are, and the only real constant in life is change. Whether that change is to your body, to your emotions, to your environment, or all of the above. You should feel comfortable in your own skin and make the best of every situation by becoming the person that you want to become and not the person that the world tells you you need to be. And the real Barbies were the friends we made along the way.
Wait, we'll use the power of friendship. Oh, yo!
Now back to Greta Gerwig. She actually has a very solid background in filmmaking. She has given us films like Little Women, No Strings Attached, Lady Bird, White Noise, and she is currently working on Snow White. Yeah, that one.
Prince. She's not going to be safe with the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
This movie became the highest grossing Warner Brothers title of all time. Now, this was a huge feat. And for what she was doing with what she was given, I think she did a great job. Mainly in how she projects her style on screen. As I had previously mentioned, the cinematography and the choreography and the set design have just so much charm, so much personality that really kept me engaged throughout the entire movie. The humor also works pretty well for the most part. You're not going to be slapping your knees all the way home, but the movie does happen to land most of the jokes pretty well, and it's a perfectly good way to spend a couple of hours if you have them. However, at times, I feel you see a little too much Greta. Speaking mainly about some of the dialogue that is just a bit heavy-handed. And by a bit, I mean that it is so on the nose I can smell what it ate last week.
You've been making women feel bad about themselves since you were invented.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Oh, no. No, please, not this. Oh, God, it's not going to be coming out of us. It's going to be going... Oh, dear God. Oh.
Now, for a casual moviegoer, this really isn't ideal. Sociopolitical commentary is a big part of cinema, or any media. And it can go a long way in creating a powerful narrative when you make these parallels to real life, or even satirize them. Some you'd see in maybe like a GTA title.
It's bullshit. Go to college. Then you're gonna rip people off and get paid for it. It's called capitalism.
And if done well, this can even spark a conversation, leave you questioning the very society that you live in. Because you may not know this, but we live in a society. If done wrong, however, you tip the scales too far in one direction, and the only thing I'm left questioning is, when the hell does this end? It no longer becomes an allegory, it just becomes cynical commentary. In other words, it stops being Barbie and just becomes Bratz.
Ha! Awesome moves, Chloe!
Thanks, Cameron. I've got a lot of cool moves.
I don't think I have to be the one to tell you that this movie was a huge hit. Not only at the theaters, but also at the Academy Awards. This movie had, I believe, 6 nominations and went toe-to-toe with some of the best films we've seen in the past year. Movies like Poor Things, Oppenheimer, and many others. Despite, however, the 6 nominations, unfortunately, we got no wins for Barbie, aside from Billie Eilish. She won her 2nd Oscar this past ceremony for her song for the movie, What Was I Made For? And I am at a loss for words. How does this enigma of entertainment have more Oscars than Martin Scorsese? And yes, I did mean Martin Scorsese this time. And I'm so glad that I'm Just Ken won the Critics' Choice Award for Best Song. Poetry, right there. And on top of that, also gave us possibly the best show, or one of the best shows we've ever seen at the Academy Awards.
I'm just Ken. Anywhere else I'd be. Is it my destiny to live?
In conclusion, Barbie sets out to do one thing. Give this old IP some much needed life with a great and flamboyant cast of talent, creative and unique storytelling, and some dodgy but overall funny dialogue. But it's not just 90 minutes of slapstick comedy. It actually gets pretty serious when it needs to, gives us the audience time to breathe, and the characters time to grow. It really lets us dwell deeper into this enigmatic world that we call the Barbie world. With that said, I think it is time that we finally give this movie a rating. And Barbie earns a very solid 7 out of 10, baby. Thank you guys so very much for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. We will be branching out into non-review type of content in the next upload. I really did have a ton of fun making this one, especially with this. And I hope you did too. Make sure to drop a tall, white, skinny blonde like and a comment down below, as well as hit that big red button so you don't miss a single upload. Also make sure to follow my social media links. They are going to be down in the description so you can stay up to date on further updates in the future. Also be sure to check out the Oppenheimer review. It is linked down below so you can check it out, or any of the other content that is already on the channel ready for you to enjoy. But thank you so very much for watching, Barbies, and I'll see you on the next one.